This is wrinkly as I don't know what. Fuck it. Alright. Hi, collective. Welcome back to Cusp of Roses. This is going to be a tarot reading, oracle reading, quick look and dive into the new moon energy that is active. Kind of started activating yesterday, to be honest. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That is fully active tonight here, March 2nd. This is a timeless reading, though. These moon energies can find you and find its peak, right, in your energy, really at any time that you feel guided to it. So just remember that, okay? And you don't have to be connected to the sign that the moon is in order to kind of connect with the energy. Well, hi, Angel. Thank you so much for being here, love. We're going to go ahead and look into this new moon energy. I hope that this new month treats you guys well, okay? Especially this new season of Pisces. That Pisces season energy reading was very interesting, right? I was thinking about it a lot after, just trying to listen for more messages or more understanding, but it seemed like it's going to be very varied for a lot of you, but definitely worth the watch. We had a lot of spirit animal energy come out. So make sure you guys just check that out, maybe even refer back to it throughout Pisces season, okay? All right, but we're focused here on this new moon energy. Thank you so much, Divine. We're going to use the Oracle of the Seven Energies, like we always do. Clarify with the Crow Tarot. And then at the end, I'm going to pull some moon magic, deep moon messages, okay? And they're really just affirmations to carry with you through this new moon phase energy into the full one, okay? Which I believe is on the 18th of this month. Alrighty. Before we even get started here, collective, let's go ahead and offer some gratitude into our space. Do whatever feels right for you, gets you grounded and centered for this reading, and I'm going to do the same, okay? Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, my ascended ancestors, the ascended masters, and all holy angels, I thank you so much for being here with me and with the collective here on YouTube for this new moon energy reading. I thank you for clearing my energy and allowing me to channel the most important messages that the collective may need to hear under this new moon. What important energy centers are being activated, healed, that we need to even pay attention to or understand, or how is this moon energy hitting our chakra centers. And we just thank you for that clarity and your guidance. Divine, we also thank you for your love, your support, your presence with us in this moment, the grace that you give us, and so much more. We love you, and so it is. All right, collective, let's go ahead and get into this. If you see any smoke go by the screen or it gets a little foggy and hazy in here, I am burning frankincense, okay? Let's do this. For the new moon, oh wow, that was very quick. Damn. You have 44, very interesting. Divine Matrix. I want to say that this is fire energy. I've used these cards quite a bit. That yellow is a little faded. Fire energy here, Divine Matrix 44. 44 was a number that came out in that Pisces season reading I did yesterday through the Oracle. So make sure you guys are researching the master number 44. Maybe for some of you that might be an important number for you, 44, or just the number 4, or maybe you're starting to see that number as a synchronicity quite a bit. Tell me more, Divine, under this new moon for the collective. All right, there we go. Yeah, you got the storyteller. Well, maybe that's 44. That's kind of high up. That wouldn't be fire energy. And you have it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. Vibration of 6 here. That's earth energy, also known as the root chakra energy. Then we have the storyteller, which is 17, okay? Which we've gotten before here, but that is fire energy. That's your solar plexus. I was about to say sacral. I want to say that this might be third eye or crown chakra energy here with the 44, but let me pull the book. Hi, Guadalupe. Thank you so much for being here, love. Okay, give me a second. Where that book at? All right, we're gonna read these, all right, y'all? Before we get into the tarot, let me put some more frankincense on here. Okay. I want to look at 44 first. What is... Yeah, it's thought. So it's the 7th chakra. So this is crown chakra energy here. Okay. But first, let's just read these in order. Start with the root chakra. So our root chakra, our solar plexus, and our crown chakra will be activated under this new moon energy, okay? We have 6. It is what it is. Key concepts: radical acceptance, engaging life on life's terms, observing circumstances, and taking them at face value, recognizing and releasing resistance and denial. What happens when you look at the world? Can you see it exactly as it is, or only as you assume it to be? A door closing isn't an invitation to take a battering ram to it. What if there was another door to lead you to your destiny? If you can release your attachment to getting what you want, you'll be surprised by how much energy you have for more important things. Liberated from the burden of yearning, you'll have access to what is best for all. Can you try now to accept things as they are and shift your focus and attention until that other door opens up for you? Radically accepting life on life's terms, when you stop fighting against it and instead fight for what you truly desire, more of the world becomes available to you. When you are no longer in denial about what's in front of you, you will be empowered to make necessary changes with respect to yourself, your attitude, and your choices. The irony is that real transformation can happen once you surrender to the idea that things are exactly as they are meant to be. If you step back with clarity and acceptance, you will realize that life is offering you something magical. Even if circumstances send you on a temporary detour, you will discover treasure beyond your imagination and a new way to embrace the world. Keep this prayer in mind. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, okay? So a lot of acceptance here. For under this new moon, there may be some doors that are closing or some situations that might be coming to an end here. And again, that word where it says you might be on a temporary detour, I definitely feel that for some of y'all. Like there might be situations that are not ideal or where you either thought you'd like to be or how you envision them being. But it is what it is, right? That's the reality that you're facing in the now moment. So there is a need to tap into your root chakra so that you can get grounded a little bit in your present, not living too far ahead in the future, not hanging on and clinging to the past, but just being in the now, I think is super, super important, especially under this new moon, especially when a new moon syncs up with the beginning of a calendar month, okay? Very, very important here. All right. So that was our root chakra. Let's look into this solar plexus energy. And then once we get through these, we'll pull some tarot. Okay. Storyteller. Vibration of 17, breaking down into an 8, okay? So 6 and 8 so far are some root energy numbers or number energies that might connect with you. The key concepts here are identity, self-definition, teaching others how to treat you through the stories you tell about who you are. Do you know the story you tell others about who you are? You are a unique being with unique talents and a story unique to you and your experience. In fact, your destiny can be found in the way you weave together these threads of yourself in the world. If there's anything in your life you want to change, then it's time to adjust the story you tell about yourself. Perhaps you are too self-deprecating or apologetic about how you shine. Maybe you minimize your power so others will accept you. Perhaps the way you voice your expectations diminishes your ability to succeed, or you're too willing to tolerate a less than supportive environment. It's easy to be in denial when it comes to others and their behavior towards you. Understand, however, that you teach people how to treat you through how you talk about yourself. Once you recognize what story you're telling others about how to treat you, you can tell a different one. What if you could connect to your true power as a co-creator of your reality? The story originates in your mind, how you think, your conditioning and past experiences, how you view the world, and what you expect to see in it. The truth is, you have everything you need to tell a new tale and weave more blessings into the world as your unique contribution. In fact, practice speaking of your amazing success, your overflowing abundance, and all the love that surrounds you. Soon, the outer world will tell the same story back to you. So some of you are definitely needing to find that fire, right? That ability to create and maybe even destroy in the same token, right? Throwing those old narratives into the fire, forging new ones with it, okay? For some of you, this just might even be like a realization about the distance between where you are and where you want to be, right? That might be very, very present in your mind right now. Yeah, that's really powerful. So remember, guys, like that is a part of manifestation. It's a part of being a human being, right? How you orchestrate your thoughts, how you put your energy out there is ultimately how the universe kind of moves and molds on your behalf. So really, everything really starts with yourself. Everything you're dealing with is a reflection of maybe what's going on internally. So if you do not like your surroundings, check in deep within you first to see what maybe needs to shift so that you can either see something from a different perspective, speak something. I think speaking is very important. So maybe even tapping into your throat chakra might be helpful under this new moon, okay? It's just really getting into that affirming. Some of you really maybe want to touch back into affirmations like I am abundant, I am amazingly successful, even if you don't feel that right now. Okay. But I will say that if you don't feel connected to those affirmations, again, that's a sign that you need to go deep within and maybe do some shadow work, okay? Because it's one thing to just say it. You can say it till you're blue in the face, but if you really don't have the emotional connection to what it is that you're saying, then it's just kind of null and void either way, okay? All right, let's look into this crown chakra energy, and then we will get into the tarot, okay? It's this thought energy, the realm of thought, divine matrix. Interesting. I don't think we've gotten this one yet in this series since I've used this deck. Okay. It says the realm of spirit, the knowledge that we are all divine beings, part of a tapestry, weaving our dreams into the fabric of reality, synchronicity, learning to trust the way things unfold. Okay. Learning to trust the way things unfold. Do you ever wonder how synchronicities have come together? These meaningful coincidences move life forward in ways we might not understand at the time. We can get trapped in the idea that the world is a place of separate parts with space between. Interesting, I just said that, yeah? Because the true quantum spiritual nature of reality can be confusing. Imagine that everything possible under the sun is waiting to be claimed. You are not separate from what you desire to manifest. Everything is intrinsically connected within a vast living web of life, a divine matrix. Even that which you have not yet observed as part of your life experience is still connected to you. It remains dormant until you choose it. Life operates on life's terms as well. That's the second time this book has said that with the cards that have come out, right? You don't live in a vacuum, so you are surrounded by a multitude of realities that were brought to life by others. These can surely affect you if you allow them to. But as your thread, your luminous life force, which is your solar plexus, your your courageous dream is part of the tapestry of life. You're being invited to be conscious of the patterns you are weaving. Isn't it amazing to know you have such power inherent in you just by being alive? You will see evidence of the truth of this divine matrix today. It is in you. What you do matters. All manner of miracles are waiting for you to lay claim to them. Are you ready? Very powerful. So some of you, just right off the bat, definitely have an opportunity under this new moon to almost kind of have like a, they're giving me the word like quantum leap, but probably just shift your timeline in a very, very important way. And it's interesting because this new moon falls on the Aquarius, Pisces, cusp energy, which would really be that balance between being very super logical and kind of like a thinker in your crown chakra, and then a little bit of that dreamer energy, like living in alternate universes, different worlds, kind of being in La La Land a little bit with that Piscean energy, or just very, very susceptible to the energy around you. So I think that this new moon is giving the collective an opportunity to take inventory of exactly where you are, right? And I've been feeling that for a minute. Take inventory of exactly where you are. Don't judge it, right? Show yourself compassion for what is, and then start telling the story of what you want it to be. Do you know what I mean? Some of you, I definitely feel like, are letting go of situations, people, places, things, opportunities, jobs, relationships for some of y'all, okay, that keep you either tethered to the past, right, or on some sort of cyclical wheel. Some of you, it's like you're getting off one karmic wheel to get on another. But with that divine matrix, it's mastering ownership, it's mastering accountability for your foundation, for where you're planted in the now, and how to pivot. Like some of you, this just feels like a huge pivot that's about to happen. And I think whatever this opportunity to pivot is, collective, it's important that you understand that you are the co-writer of this story. Yes, there are going to be things that the divine has set up for you, whether you like it or not, whether you see it happening or not, right? That are ultimately for you to develop and grow and ascend. But there's a whole other part of it that really is up to you to really show up for, right? So that's where that accountability kind of comes in. To, again, we'll say it again, accept what it is what it is, this is where you're rooted, this is the now moment, right? Not avoiding it, not disassociating from your reality, kind of getting grounded and rooted and being very centered, right, in the now, okay? But understanding that you have the power to create what's to come. Do you see what I'm saying? So this new moon is definitely offering a lot of the collective an opportunity to just kind of like walk through another door, create portals for yourself, all right? Huge shifts and changes in understanding for some of you, even about kind of why you're here, what's your life purpose. Some of that might be coming online for some of y'all, like really feeling connected to something bigger than yourself, which maybe inspires you to write a new story. Okay, some of you, I feel like, have also been very, very deep in your own shadow for a minute. Okay. And it's like, that's too much of anything isn't a good thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there has to be a balance, especially when you're doing shadow work. Like, you have to kind of ebb and flow in that. If you stay too long in that shadow, you might forget that light aspect that you do have, right? So there's a need for some of y'all to kind of step into the light a little bit more. Like, it is what it is. This feels like whatever that deep-rooted energy is, like it is. It's there, right? It might not go anywhere, but how could I say that? Because ultimately, right, the healing journey is a lifelong one, right? We never truly get to a point where, okay, everything is perfect, everything is 100%. There's always going to be something that's uncovered, unlocked, realized. You're going to have to fall back deeper into something or readdress a wound. Like, that's the cycle, right? Healing is cyclical. It's not linear. And I think for some of you, it's like really understanding what that means. Some of you, there is like, I feel like this wound that you're holding on to, almost as like a self-identifier for the storyteller to come out, because it's like you're identifying who you are or measuring your worth up against this wound, well, because this happened to me, then I'm only capped here. I can only get this far, or I can only experience this. And it's like, if you say that and you feel that, that's exactly what the world is going to make for you, right? Or send your way. So again, I think stepping into that power of imagination, that's definitely helped here with this Piscean energy, especially being in Pisces season. Imagining where you want to be, like really using that creative force in a way that we all have internally, especially that solar plexus. So if you don't feel as creative, maybe some of you might even be dealing with creative blocks, like just having a hard time imagining the life that you want, or imagining what it is that you desperately desire as yours. It's like, definitely dig into your solar plexus. That'll definitely help you. Okay. That seems to be like the most important chakra out of all of these. Definitely touch on them all if you need to. But let's look a little deeper, okay? Let me put some more frankincense here. Thank you so much, Divine, for these beautiful messages here under this new moon energy for the collective. Please clarify more about this root chakra, solar plexus, and crown chakra energy. What's most important for the collective to know about these three dynamics under the new moon? How are these energies assisting the collective, Divine? Thank you so much. All right. It is what it is. Ooh, that was messy. Storyteller in the divine matrix. Yeah, some of you, this is just, it feels like it's time, right? Like it's time to let go of a narrative about who you are, what you deserve. Some of you, it's just time to let go. Easier said than done, absolutely. But that's what I think might be coming up here in this new moon. Tell me more about this root chakra energy. What is it for the collective? It is what it is, but what is it? Yeah, Hierophant. Okay. Powerful, powerful first card energy, right? It's the strongest card in this reading, the Hierophant. So really, you've learned beyond this wound, whatever this is, collective. You've gained, it's like you've drained all the knowledge, all the wisdom that you could out of going through those cycles, reviewing those cycles in your mind, holding on to it. It's like you've gotten all that you can out of that experience. For a lot of you, this feels like a painful one because my heart chakra is like getting all twisty. You've gained all the knowledge, all the wisdom, everything you needed to learn out of that experience, and it's like it's time to let it go and create new ones that you'll draw more information, more understanding from, right? And if those situations that it is what it is, right? It might have been a variable, it might have been something that was out of your control, right? Oh, that could be it. Some of you guys might be dealing with that. Like if situation and circumstances have happened that were out of your control, but you were just kind of forced to deal with it, or it was just kind of dropped on your lap and you got to kind of work through it. It's not forgetting, collective, that it's like, don't give your power away to what you don't have control over, right? The serenity prayer that we read. It's like, if that's out of your hands, there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to kind of deal with it for the time being, or whatever the case is. It's like, don't give your power of creation away to the circumstances that are out of your control. There are still things that are in your control. There are still things that you can switch, change, focus on, right? And I think for some of y'all, you might have gotten a little lost in that pain of it all, or just kind of maybe even given up. Like, well, if everything's a variable and it's out of my control, then why even try? And I think for some of you, this new moon is going to kind of give you that sense of resurgence a little bit, especially in your solar plexus, to say, no, okay, wait, I still have the pen in my hand. I can still write out new stories to tell. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can be active and present in my life. I don't have to be dormant, or surrender all of my power to things that are out of my control. It's like there's a need to kind of pull your power back from something, or reclaim yourself in some way. Like some of you, this is very, very, like this could be very deep trauma and pain that you're having to experience that, again, wasn't by your hand. Maybe it was other people's choices, whatever they chose to do or how to act towards you. It's like just having to deal with the remnants of that. But again, I think it's very, very important that you don't surrender your power to those situations and understand that, yes, that might have been unfortunate. Yes, it was out of your control. But there are so many other things that you can channel your energy into. It's just learning to accept, okay, that's what it was. I had no hand in that. Couldn't avoided it if I wanted to, right? It is. It fell in my lap or it happened to me or whatever the case is. But no longer like being a victim to it. Again, with the Hierophant, there was a lesson learned here, and I think I have to say that in past tense. It's already been learned, collective. So it's time to kind of release it and let it go. Okay? And not let whatever those situations or this instance or maybe multiple instances define the next chapter of your life. Multiple chapters or the next cycle you go on. Okay? It doesn't have to be tethered to this. Some of you might be realizing that or will be realizing that over the next few days, whenever you find this. Wow. Okay, yeah. There we go. You got the Four of Swords. Exactly. Acceptance. This is beyond the Three of Swords. So you've already moved through the pain. You've already moved through the betrayal. This is where you accept what was. It is what it is. Those three swords are up there, right? But you gain your truth from it. That's the fourth sword. And you're at peace with it. And you're getting to the point where you're okay. Yeah. Acceptance is huge here. Collective acceptance is huge. And that for some of you, this Four of Swords is learning that that Three of Swords, again, you couldn't have avoided it if you wanted to. Some of you might be looking at a situation and maybe beating yourself up a little bit like, oh, if I would have chose to do this and I wouldn't have, no, you would have experienced it either way. There would have been different characters, different people, same situation though, because there was ultimately this higher learning that had to happen for your soul. Do you see what I'm saying? Your soul had to go through a lesson, so it was going to find you regardless. And the moment that you accept that, easier to find peace and move forward and move on. Okay? Some of you, it's really understanding that everything in life is temporary. Everything in life fluctuates and changes. There's nothing that'll ever be stable and consistent 100% of the time. If anything, the only constant in life is the fact that everything changes. So it's like wrapping your mind around that. That's what this Four of Swords feels like. Wrapping your mind around that and just accepting the flow of however it goes. Again, Pisces season, going with the flow. Okay? Some of you are flowing upstream, some of you are flowing downstream, but it's like wherever that is, try to be present for it. Easier said than done, absolutely 100%, but it's possible, okay? Yep, there you go. You have the Seven of Swords. And I think that's a mental shift there, Seven of Swords. It's a mental shift because it's realizing, yeah, maybe for some of you, you have held on to something a little longer than maybe you should have or needed to. I won't even say should. I do not like using the word should, right? Because everybody's experience and time frames are different. So take it however long you need. But what I mean is with this Seven of Swords, it's like holding on to the idea of something to the point where now you're deceiving yourself about what's possible. Or looking back on something and thinking back on something, meditating on something and being like, well, I haven't learned my lesson or I haven't learned it all yet. And it's like, but you have the Hierophant here. It is what it is. Some of you may be even feeling like I said earlier, right? Well, if I had done anything differently, if I had chosen another option or didn't say this or whatever the case might be, okay, apply it to your situation, then I would have avoided this lesson. And I'm here to tell you, no, you wouldn't have. It would have found you in a different way. And there's a lot of freedom that comes with that when you realize that those lessons are set on your path regardless of what path you choose. It's going to find you. So you just embrace it as it comes. You learn through it. You heal through it. You feel what you need to feel, right? You go through it, and it's just accepting, like, that's a part of life. It is what it is. There was nothing that you could have done, collective, and I feel like somebody really needs to hear that. There was nothing that you could have done differently to avoid this outcome. It would have found you regardless. Okay? All right. Tell me more about this root chakra energy for the collective. Thank you. Yeah, look at that. The Lover. So some of you, this is centered around relationships. This is what I'm saying. Oh, well, if I didn't choose them as a partner, or if I didn't say yes to being with them, I would have maybe been with someone else. And that, no, you would have been with someone else and you would have gone through the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying? Someone else would have come along and taught you that lesson that you learned through this relationship or through this connection. And ultimately, this could also be the acceptance that, again, the divine doesn't send you anything. God doesn't send you anything that isn't for your greater good, no matter how difficult it is. You have the strength, you have the power to get through it, right? And if you don't feel that, then understand that God, the divine, the universe, sees something more in you than you actually see in yourself. So find comfort in that as well. Like, it really is a mental shift when hardship finds you, or obstacles find you, or pain finds you. You can look at it like, woe is me, and that's okay and perfectly fine and dandy. But it could also be, wow, I must be strong enough to be able to get through this. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it can be a source of power if you look at it right. That's that Hierophant. I understand that I'm going through this for a reason, to learn something greater, so I surrender to it. I'm not going to fight it. Okay? Overall message here from the root chakra to the collective under this new moon, divine. Wow. Yep, King of Cups. So, in an essence, right? It is what it is. Whatever this situation was, and I think for a lot of you, this could have been things that were out of your control, like it said in the book. How people treated you, you can't control other people. You can't control what they do, what they say, how they move, whatever. That's on them, right? A lot of y'all might have even been carrying that. Like, or I did something to deserve that. No, that was just a part of your path for you to learn something. And for a lot of you, it was to soften you. And I know that that might sound a little, right? But King of Cups, it was to get you more in tune with what you feel. Connect more with your own emotions. Realize more about your own emotional capacity for certain things. Or for some of y'all, how sporadic you might be in your emotions. Right? Or there's this need to control your emotions in certain situations. Like, whatever this was, it's like it connected you and gave you an opportunity to learn the lesson of the King of Cups. How to be vulnerable, how to be compassionate, and how to move in those energies. Not just receive it from others, but to offer it out as well. And for a lot of you, that offering of compassion and vulnerability starts with yourself. Like, we've gotten this for a minute now, and I think for the collective I'm tethered to, this is just a huge life shift that's happening, where it's, again, and I'm sure you've heard this, if you knew then what you knew now, things might have been different. But you didn't know it back then because you had to learn it through that experience. And that's where that acceptance and surrender comes from. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. And if you're struggling with that acceptance, again, tap into your root chakra. There are many, many root chakra healing energies here on YouTube. I do have a curated playlist. You can find the link in my description box. Of chakra healing meditations that I have personally used that have actually helped me, like in real life, legitly. So make sure you guys check that out if you're interested, okay? And if you have no idea what I'm talking about with chakras, there's a quick, brief synopsis of the main 7 that I'll talk about here on my channel. We have over 100 that we connect to through our body, through our mind, through our spirit and soul. But the main 7 I'll talk about on this channel, there's brief descriptions below, but definitely do your research, okay? All right, the storyteller under this new moon, divine. Thank you so much. Yeah, you got the Six of Cups. These are old narratives, y'all. Old narratives. Some of you might find yourself reliving the past a lot mentally or emotionally. Okay? And again, there's no judgment here on my channel. We all do this. We all go through cycles of this, okay? Some of you are in this cycle of replaying emotional events or points, right, that were a little difficult or maybe traumatic, or things that were out of your control. Maybe even things you wish you would have said, you would have expressed, especially with the sword energy here, okay? But it's almost like there's this opportunity opening up here. And this could have started with the 222 portals that we had in February, right? Where this, I'm getting like this urge or this desire for something different started activating here, collective, for some of y'all. Like realizing, oh, I've just been replaying these emotions like over and over and over again, like falling into this cycle. I'm ready to experience something different. Like some of y'all, I can hear it saying, I'm ready. Like I'm ready for something different. You might not have been ready in the past, and that's okay, but it's like now I'm ready. And as we move into this new astrological year, it's going to be very, very important for those of you that do want to experience something different, that you're committed to being open to that. Okay, Six of Cups. So there is some element of nostalgia that keeps showing up here in your day-to-day reality or your waking life that needs to either have the door shut on it, or it needs to be released or let go of. Or the story about this incident or whatever this time frame that keeps coming up needs to be rewritten. Okay? So rather than viewing yourself in a, I want to say that, but that might come out a little crazy, but, and I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody who's maybe gone through some really traumatic things, but it's like, rather than telling the story as the victim, it's like speaking of the situation as the victor, if that makes sense. Because like I said, for some of y'all, this is like past things. Yeah, Six of Cups, it's the past energy. So you've grown from it, you've grown through it. It's not for some of y'all, it might not be a factor in your waking reality, but again, it's like, it's kind of like this woe is me energy. Like, oh gosh, I can't believe that happened to me. I can't believe I went through it. But it's like, but you survived it. Imagine all the people that don't survive that situation. Do you see what I'm saying? And that doesn't take away from the pain that it caused. It does not take away from what it took to get through it. So absolutely, but it's like holding on to it in a different way where it gives you a sense of power as opposed to sapping the power from you or draining you. Do you know what I mean? Some of y'all, that's a real huge mental shift that I feel like is going to happen over this next month for sure. Right. The devil. See what I'm saying? It's the fear. It's the illusion of I'm still that victim from the past. And it's like, no, you aren't. You conquered it. You survived it. You overcame it. You worked through it. Do you understand? You grew from it, whatever this might be. And it's like there is this voice, I feel like, collective in, or just this energy that's trying to get you to stay looking at the past from a certain lens. Because I feel like there's energies that understand that you have the power to write something different, and they definitely don't want you to pick up that pen and do so. They want you to stay stuck in these cycles. Remember when you did that? Remember how that, like, do you remember, like, do you see what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, but I grew through it. I learned from it, the Hierophant. I'm better for it. I'm wiser for it. So it's in the past. It is what it is. And some of you, this is the battle of thinking that it could have been different. And it couldn't have. Okay? Tell me more about this storyteller energy. That's what I'm talking about. Right, the High Priestess. Now you have a powerful pair here. The Hierophant and the High Priestess. Some of y'all know Some of y'all know y'all fighting this type of energy here. Some of y'all know that this is a true battle, okay, that you're going through. You know it. And I think what's beautiful, especially with the King of Cups being here, is that you're aware of it and you're creating that space for yourself. That space of love, the lovers. Yeah. Showing yourself, or the version of yourself that was here in the Six of Cups. Again, some of y'all, this could be childhood wounds. This could be younger years, right? Things that just were out of your control. That maybe back then you didn't see it that way. Took a lot of blame for other people's actions, whatever the case might be. But you know this is what you're up against. High Priestess energy, Hierophant energy. Okay? So this is what I'm saying. For a lot of y'all, this is not your first rodeo with this type of cycle. But I think what's beautiful about it is, like I said, they're cyclical. So you're back at this point, but you're so much wiser than you were last time you were here. Do you see what I'm saying? So much more wiser, so much more in tune with your own emotions, a lot more compassionate towards yourself, a lot more vulnerable with it is, and definitely in the position to surrender. Whereas previously you might have fought it, right? Tell me more about this storyteller energy for the collective under this new moon, divine. Tell me more. Okay. And then you got the Knight of Cups. This is what I'm saying. Offering yourself compassion, understanding. If you knew what you knew now back then, things would have been different, absolutely. But you didn't know it. It is what it is. Do you see what I'm saying? And for a lot of y'all, this is, whatever this situation is, it's going to work out in your favor. I can feel that, especially with the Hierophant and the High Priest here. It's going to work out in your favor in a way that I don't know that you're either seeing just yet or expecting. Whether it is a few months from now, weeks from now, days from now, years from now. Some of y'all are going to look back on this time, look back on this moment, look back on this shift and be like, thank God I did surrender to that, or I did the work, because the work is going to be needed at a certain point in time. Okay? And again, how that card spoke about speaking life, right, into yourself, speaking of your amazing successes, speaking of the abundance, right? You can see the fish in this background, a sign of abundance. We're in Pisces season, 2 fish, yeah? Jupiter is in Pisces. Let's talk about it, right? Perfect time to rewrite your narratives. Check in with yourself. What stories do you tell yourself that keep you fearful? Ooh, what stories do you tell yourself that keep you fearful of doing certain things, going after certain things, pursuing certain things, investing in certain things, creating certain things, whatever? What narratives do you tell yourself that hold you back or keep you from doing things? And be honest with yourself about that. A lot of y'all already know what they are. Like I said, you're not aware of it, but it's just a time to work through it, especially under this new moon, the last one of our astrological year here. Okay? So this is that Knight of Cups energy, speaking on your amazing successes, speaking on the things and the abundance and the life you want and desire, speaking it, right? Even if this is in retrospect, looking back, like I said, changing the narrative from I was the victim to I am the victor of that situation. I overcame whatever that was. I lived through it. Like I said, some of y'all have to really look at all that you've been through. Not a lot of people make it through those situations. Okay? So think about how strong your spirit and your soul has to be to still be standing today. Still be breathing today and alive today. Okay? It's time to rewrite the story, collective. Here we go. Last one. Come, because this is what... Ooh, I just got the chills. Thank you, God. The Wheel of Fortune. What did I just say? Jupiter's in Pisces? Exactly. This is a portal. It's opening. It's turning. Are you going to shift with it, collective? Are you ready to tell new stories? Are you ready to have new experiences? Are you ready for something different? Now, to be honest here, collective, if you feel like you're not ready, that's okay too. That's okay to say, I'm not ready for something new. I still, I'm just not ready, or I'm still afraid, or I'm still scared, or nervous, or concerned, or worried, whatever that is. That's okay too. As long as you're aware, High Priestess, as long as you're aware that that's what you're dealing with, that's half the battle. Okay? Some of y'all have definitely been doing this for a minute, and it's like the Wheel of Fortune is here. Right? It's time for you to start really living out some of the dreams that you've been creating, writing down, manifesting. Okay? That's powerful. I love it. All right, let's look into this divine matrix, see what this is all about, and then we will pull our affirmations and end this reading. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For those of you that are here, if you enjoy any part of this reading, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, okay? And if you would like to join my channel for exclusive content, discounts on my website, all of that lovely stuff, or even just the cool emojis that I've created for you guys to use here, make sure you check that out in the description box below or on my homepage, okay? Tell me more about this divine matrix. Ooh. So we got the 5 of Cups. Yep, there's that Tower moment. We have the Tower, and we have the 4 of Cups. Okay. I want to put it like this. Let's put the Tower here, 5 here, and the 4. No, 5 came out first. There we go. All right. Yeah. The Tower screams, it is what it is. Out of your control. Divine intervention. Tower had to come crumbling down. Something had to shift. Something had to change. Something even maybe unfortunate had to happen. Lightning had to strike ground, basically. Okay? And although it might have been disappointing, 5 of Cups, although there might be a bit of sorrow because you're having to let go of something that maybe you wanted to hold on to very closely, or that you felt you needed or couldn't live without or deserved, especially with the Lovers here, if this is concerning a relationship or a connection, it's like, right, it's understandable having to watch or be involved with a relationship that's crumbling or shifting in a way that's out of your control can hurt, especially with people that you hold very dear to your heart. Okay? But that lightning don't strike for fun, right? Lightning doesn't strike just because. Divine intervention doesn't happen just because. It's purposeful in the sense that there's a new story, there's something new here to experience. And the more you hold on to the old and what has spilled and what has gone, the less you actually recognize that what has gone has left a path for something new. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, be honest with yourself, collective here, and it's totally okay to not be ready. That's okay. It's all right. You'll get there, right? It's a process. Don't try to force anything that doesn't feel natural for you or doesn't feel real for you. But the truth of it is, it has spilled. It's not going to pour back into, right? It is what it is. This Tower has happened. It's been destroyed, right? And I think for some of y'all, it's... Because I think that's the trippy thing sometimes, especially on spiritual journeys. It's like you can fully spiritually understand, or even maybe just mentally understand why something's happening. It makes sense that this Tower would come. It makes sense that I had to pull away. Like, okay, like I get it. But it's that King of Cups. It's the Knight of Cups. It's that emotional energy, the 6 of Cups, that can be very, very difficult to switch or to move through. Okay? 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups. So this is that Four of Cups moment where the divine is offering you that new path in that fourth cup. But you're still like, nah, I kind of want to hang on to this Three of Cups. Turning the blind eye. Don't see that cup. Nope, nope, nope. So then the Tower has to come. Because the divine's not going to let you miss this Wheel of Fortune. Do you see what I'm saying? Time to look at the cup. And when you turn and you say, okay, fine, that Tower happens, I'm going to accept the cup. Yeah, you're going to naturally lament and mourn what you had to let go of, which is those 3 cups. It's normal, it's natural, it's human to mourn the ending of things. Even if you know it's for your greater good, doesn't take away from the pain of it, or it doesn't take away from what you wished or what you thought or what you wanted or what you desired out of it. Right? But it's like there is power to be pulled from better has to come. Because if you were already at your best, or you were already in the best connection for you, the best relationship, the best situation, the best environment, why would this Tower have to come? You've reached the pinnacle, right? So clearly the Tower's here because you haven't reached your pinnacle yet. The best hasn't come yet. And you have to be free and you have to be open for the Wheel of Fortune to turn and gift you this new story, this new path, this new understanding, this new clarity. Okay? So yeah, it's okay. Mourn it. That's fine. Like I said, if you're not ready, you're not ready. It's okay. Be honest with yourself about it though. And especially, I can't stress that enough, collective. Please do not force yourself to feel anything that you are not ready to feel. It will happen in due time. Okay? A lot of the time, especially when you get into spiritual work and then you start manifesting, it's like, okay, you're going to force yourself to feel something. It's like that doesn't work because you're working against your natural rhythm and your natural flow and your pace. Spirituality, this journey, learning more about yourself, it's not keeping up with the Joneses. It's not trying to pace with other people. It's figuring out your rhythm and sticking to it. Okay? Divine Matrix. Let's talk about it. Tell me more here, Divine, about this crown chakra energy under this new moon. Sorry, y'all. I feel like I got a little preachy there. But it is what it is. Because you know why? Because the Ace of Cups. This is what I'm talking about. Come on now. You got the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, the 6 of Cups. And now an Ace of Cups. And the Knight of Cups. And the King of Cups. Something completely new and different. A gift. Some of you guys will see it soon. Some of you it's going to take a minute. And that's okay. Like I said, fall into your pace. You'll get there when you need to get there. But the Ace of Cups is what's coming with this Wheel of Fortune. So if you're still stuck here, lamenting over what's spilled, there is no way that you can see this Ace of Cups and or be open to it. And for some of y'all, the divine knows that, so they send in this Tower to kind of shake you up, right? To get you to realize, hey, that was just one chapter of your story. There's another one to write. There's many more to write. Like I said, don't give your power over to that was the end all be all. I'll never do better than that. It'll never, like, come on. Come on now. You're still waking up every day. There's more. That's what I mean. Like, because if you would have hit the pinnacle, what else would there be? You've done the work. You've hit the mark. You transition. You move on. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're waking up every day, there's still more. There's still more. But you got to believe that. You got to understand that. You have to know that deep down. High Priestess, Hierophant. Some of y'all do. So prepare. This is going to be a very beautiful season for you, especially over the next 2 weeks and or whenever you find this, because this is what's coming. And then we also had the Queen of Swords. Okay? Which is like this beautiful energy of not being overwhelmed anymore by what could have been, what you felt should have been, what would have been, all the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Those are out the door. Queen of Swords deals with what is in the now. Okay? What makes sense for the present moment. And discerns. Right? This is what I was also saying for some of you. It's like speaking, the Queen of Swords. It's like be very, very intentional around your speech and what you say. because the universe is listening. Your angels are listening. Your ancestors are listening. And they will do everything in their power to shift your environment, your reality, to match what it is that you say. And again, a lot of what you say, or a lot of that energy and that work, is neutral. If you want to experience negative things, you speak negative things, okay, they'll give it to you, right? It'll happen because that's what you spoke up. That's what you believed in. That's what you thought you were worth. So boom, here you go. Here's a mirror of that. You change the narrative, okay, now the divine can offer you something different. Yeah. Whew. All right, collective. Let's get into these affirmations for these new moon phase and cycle, and we will wrap. Thank you guys for hanging in there if you're still here. Ooh, that had to be a lot. I hadn't done a reading publicly for a minute, okay? So we had a lot to catch up on, a lot to touch on today and this week, I guess. But let's see. Thank you so much, Divine, for these beautiful messages here for the collective. What affirmations under this new moon can the collective use to get grounded and centered and activate these energy centers? Okay. Yeah, I'll take it. There you go. I choose to take a higher perspective and widen my views. That's what I was saying. Can you look back on that Six of Cups energies, on the past, on this situation, whatever it is, whatever has spilled over, and see it from a higher point of view? Again, you're not the victim from the past. You're the victor. You're the person who survived it. That's a huge shift. Even in how you talk about the story or talk about the situation, you survived something, you overcame something, you're not still dealing with it. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, any other affirmations here under this new moon for the collective to help activate these energies? Oh, we got this one, yeah. I see the gateway is open and the pathway is clear. My journey begins. Okay, I'm going to put that back because we got that one last time. I want something new here. Here we go. Yeah, I shine my light outwards for all to see. Some of you, it is time to shine. Like I said, you've maybe been deep in your shadow work for a while. It's time to step into the light, right? Test out what you've learned so far. And then it goes, I teach people how to treat me. That came up in one of those books, yeah? Or one of the oracles that we read. I teach people how to treat me. All right, collective, I hope you found this reading helpful and insightful, maybe filled with confirmation on what you got going on, or what you might even be feeling under this new moon or whenever this does find you, okay? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I know I said a lot. I know it maybe even got a little preachy, but thank you for hanging in there. Thank you to everybody who did tune in live here. I appreciate your time and your presence, and I will see you all in the next one. Namaste.